Hey, sports fans, Louis Diamond coming back at you here from sunshiny Las Vegas, Nevada with continuing coverage of the 2013 NFL season previews from freepicksandodds.com. And today, I'm going to preview the NFC South. And once again, we're going to start at the bottom and work our way right up to the top. Last place this year in the NFC South is going to be the Carolina Panthers. Panthers double-speaking general manager Dave Gettleman claims quarterback Cam Newton is a player that he can build his franchise around. Yet, he quickly adds, but now it's time to win. Putting a little pressure on him here. Newton had a strong start to his NFL career, but going into his third season, he's just 13-19. And so I guess a little criticism can be warranted. He did lead the team in rushing last year, but when your quarterback is your leading running back, you probably got some issues. The Panthers' new offensive coordinator, Mike Shula, is expected to run the ball this year to try to change that, hoping that there'll be an easier way for him to make the transition smoother for Newton with the new offense. Both running backs for the Panthers, DeAngelo Williams, Jonathan Stewart, awesome backs, have career averages that are nearly 5 yards per carry, capable of doing it. I'm sure the Panther fans would love to see one of those two guys as the leading rusher this year. And if so, they may challenge Tampa Bay for third place. But the Panthers got a couple serious issues that are probably going to derail them at some point here this season. First, they got the toughest strength of schedule with the league's earliest bye week. Going to burn them down the road in the end. And the coaching staff, they haven't been able to capitalize on the talent around them so far since I've been there the past few years. And I'm just not a big fan of Mike Shula's new offense. I don't think he's ever really cracked the top 15 as an offensive coordinator. So the Panthers, they're also going to begin with a tough schedule early before they even get into their division games. They got a lot of things going against them. I think Rivera's on the hot seat. It's going to be pretty hard for him to win that battle in front of them. They struggle this year. They really shouldn't. They're going to be 6-10, 8-8 against the number. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, this is a team that I think is definitely on the way up. They got an excellent young coach in Greg Schiano, a great running game with Doug Martin. Wide receiver Vincent Jackson averaged almost or over 19 yards a catch last season. Ton of potential on the other side with Mike Williams if he can recover from his sophomore jinx, get back to the same thing that he did his rookie season. Definitely got the potential. But as you would expect, Josh Freeman is the listed starter. But I don't see that lasting too long. I think that's where their problem lies right now. The sooner they can get rookie quarterback Mike Glennon in there, the sooner this team gets to where they're going to be. Look for a bumpy start from Freeman, and then Glennon taking over this new offense, his new offense, and never letting go. And when that happens, look for some value in Tampa Bay as an underdog with the rookie quarterback. But until then, 7-9 straight up, 9-7 against the number. New Orleans Saints, now they got their leader back. After a year's suspension, head coach Sean Payton, he's back. And the Saints probably feel like they got a little something to prove after last year's 7-9 debacle without him on the sidelines. Now the offense should be business as usual. Breeze leading the charge with an offense that scored almost 29 points per game last season. Wide receivers Colson and Moore, they've shown no signs of slowing down. In fact, Moore's coming off his best year yet. Mark Ingram got word from Coach Payton that he wants a running game to utilize his explosive quarterback and wide receivers. Now, of course, we've heard that their defense was the worst in the NFL history. Now, wouldn't it have been nice to know that before the season starts? Well, some of you did. Those that have followed me on Twitter, they got the heads up on that last year, because if you go to my Twitter account, at Louis Diamond, and then you scroll back to July 20th, 2012, the week I started my Twitter account, one of the first tweets that I ever made, it says, Saints 2012 equal over City. And as you know, the overcast big in 2012. So I'm not throwing darts here, guys. Do I think it's going to be over City here in 2013? Let's take a little look. They do have a new defensive scheme as they're converting to Rob Ryan's 3-4 defensive system. Now the big question is whether they have the parts in place to make it work for them. I don't think they're quite there yet. They probably needed to make some more changes than they were really able to make this offseason. So it's probably going to take them a little while, but they did bring in cornerback Keenan Lewis in the free agency, and they drafted Kenny Vaccaro, who's a nice little pickup there. So that's definitely a good start, but let's remember this was the worst defense in NFL history. Now they actually have a soft schedule this season that includes the weak offensive AFC East, excluding New England. So the D may pick up some momentum, and it looks like Peyton's going to try to run the ball, get a little ball control, and if he gets it, Saints may be priced a little high on their totals, but until then, I kind of do see them as an over team, especially in Week 1 versus Atlanta, but I'm going to be cautiously watching to see if they do get to slow things down. Saints are going to be 10-6 this year straight up, 6-10 against the number, due to the fact that they do have a weak defense, and they're going to be laying some wood. So, which brings me to the first place in the NFC South, the Atlanta Falcons. Now the Falcons obviously loaded offensively in 2012, and by swapping out Michael Turner for Steven Jackson, Falcons upgraded their running game significantly. Now that should make them a scoring machine in 2013. Now whether they can go deeper in the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl is simply going to depend on how their defense holds up. They took a couple major hits in the secondary with the losses of Robinson and Grimes, which kind of forces them to break in a couple rookies. Now, there's also the loss of Abraham versus the gain of Umanera. Not quite an upgrade right there, possibly even a considerable downgrade if Umanera goes down again this season. Look to bet against Atlanta laying 7 points or more this season, as their defense is going to allow opponents to keep things close, which means the back door is always ajar. Same with New Orleans, same thing. Which also means look for high-scoring affairs with the Falcons, and not quite the domination everybody's expecting from them. 11-5 straight up, but 6-10 against the number, and 11-5 to the over. So, remember, don't forget, if you're looking for some solid plays this season, all you got to do is just text the word free winner to 90210, and I'll get you started with the first winner free. This is Louis Diamond. Appreciate you sticking around here at freepicksandodds.com and the 2013 NFL previews.